Hello, everybody. Greetings from IGCP Group, MedTalks, and HeartCare Foundation of India. I am Dr. K.K. Agarwal. Today, we are going to present a scientific feast. In this scientific feast, Dr. Manav Vadhavan, Senior Director, Gastroenterology and Hepatology at BLK Super Speciality Hospital, will be presenting on the management of hepatitis B infection. But before that, is there a role of herbal management in hepatitis B infection? Yes. Complementary and alternative therapies have been found to be beneficial in the management of hepatitis B infection. Herbal confer their activities not only by inhibiting HBV secretion but also by building up immunity against viruses. Therefore, herbal treatment can be used as an adjunct to antivirals use in modern medicine.
Hi friends, I am Dr. Manav Vadhavan. I am Director at Institute of Liver and Digestive Sciences at BLK Hospital in Delhi. In this video, we will discuss about hepatitis B virus. We will cover various aspects of hepatitis B. We will talk about the prevalence of hepatitis B. We will talk about the transmission of hepatitis B. We will talk about manifestations and finally treatment part. So I'll try to give you information very briefly about each of these aspects. Hepatitis B is a DNA virus. It is transmitted via either infected body fluids or by infected blood. So if you look at route of transmission of hepatitis B, we can classify into 4 categories. First category is from mother to baby. So if the mother is infected with hepatitis B, at the time of delivery, there is a potential that the baby gets the virus from the mother. That's called vertical transmission. The most common mode of spread in India, although is not vertical but horizontal transmission. So what do we mean by horizontal transmission? Horizontal transmission means that kids transmit the virus between other kids at the time when they are playing with each other or other aspects. The third way it is transmitted is by unprotected sexual intercourse. And the fourth way is IV drug abuse. That means to transmit hepatitis B virus, you need either contact with an infected body fluid, which may be semen, which may be saliva, although saliva causes much less transmission than semen, but it does cause, or infected blood, which may happen with blood transfusions or it may happen during IV drug abuse. The spectrum of hepatitis B virus infection, it can cause both acute hepatitis as well as chronic hepatitis. If hepatitis B happens in children, that means either from mother to child or in the horizontal transmission between kids who are small in age, young in age, it usually leads to chronic hepatitis. It does not have manifestations early on in the age. Only routinely when you do a liver function test of somebody once he reaches 25-30 years of age, you might find that the liver functions are abnormal. So the infection has been there for more than 6 months and causes chronic disease. So this is the commonest manifestation of hepatitis B. On the other hand, when you have hepatitis B infection in the adults, it may lead to either acute or chronic infection. The good part about acute hepatitis B is it resolves on its own. Just like hepatitis A, if you have acute hepatitis A, the resolution rates are high. Similarly, in acute hepatitis B, the resolution rates are reasonably high. Almost 70-75% of patients, if they manifest with acute hepatitis, they will clear their virus. On the other hand, somebody who has chronic hepatitis, that means virus comes in the body, does not give symptoms, and later on when you do liver function test, you detect the virus. In that scenario, the infection goes on in more than 90% of patients, and these are the patients who actually require treatment. If you look at prevalence of hepatitis B in India, the overall prevalence rate is around 5%. That means 5% of Indian population has some marker of hepatitis B infection. Again, there are 2 forms of hepatitis B. The more virulent form is E antigen positive patients, and less virulent is E antigen negative patients who have E antibody against. In India, predominantly you have E antibody positive patients, E antigen negative. There are 4 genotypes reported of hepatitis B across the world. In India, the commonest genotype is genotype A and genotype D. Genotype B and C are usually reported from countries like Taiwan and China. They are not seen much in India. Acute hepatitis B, as I have told you, usually resolves without any sequelae in 3/4 of patients. 25% of patients who have acute hepatitis B go on to develop chronic hepatitis B. Around 1 to 2% of patients with acute hepatitis B may manifest with acute liver failure, which is a life-threatening condition. On the other hand, chronic hepatitis B patients do not have symptoms and it leads to slow progressive damage of liver. Somebody may contract an infection at the time of birth, or they may get an infection early on in the age, and that goes on to chronic hepatitis. Over age of 35 to 40 years, there is cumulative damage in the liver, and these are the patients with chronic hepatitis B who will progress to develop cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma. To prevent development of HCC, that is hepatocellular carcinoma, and cirrhosis, we have to diagnose them early. Diagnosis of hepatitis B rests on first detection of abnormal liver function tests. If you find somebody who has abnormal liver function tests, you want to check them for both hepatitis B virus and hepatitis C virus. If HBsAg comes as positive, you have to cross check with a hepatitis B DNA level, because your treatment is based on not just on HBs antigen levels, it is also based on hepatitis B DNA and LFT. In addition to positivity of HBV DNA, you also require deranged liver function test. So currently there are good drugs available for hepatitis B, but most important thing to understand is all HBsAg positive patients do not require treatment. So who requires treatment? Treatment is given on the basis of who is having damage in the liver. Damage in the liver is defined by liver function test and fibrosis. So what we do, if you detect somebody who is HBsAg positive, please don't straight away go ahead and treat that patient. Even if the DNA is very high, you still don't treat the patient unless there is a evidence of inflammation. So treatment is reserved for patients who have abnormal liver function tests, high DNA, or fibrosis as assessed by a fibroscan or any elastography technique. So a patient should be treated if they have abnormal LFT, fibrosis, and HBV DNA positivity. I am repeating again, 3 criteria to advise treatment for hepatitis B are abnormal liver function test, high HBV DNA, and or fibrosis. If anybody has these, you should treat. There are good drugs available. There is entecavir, there is tenofovir. You can consult with any liver specialist and they will advise you what to do for these set of patients. So before I end this video, I would like to stress on one very important fact. Hepatitis B is a preventable disease. There is a vaccine which is very efficacious. In fact, we advise vaccination against hepatitis B for every newborn kid. There should be universal vaccination for prevention of hepatitis B in our population. Adults should be vaccinated, children should be vaccinated, preferably at birth. You need to give 3 doses of vaccine at a monthly intervals, and it is up to 98% protective. A small step in vaccinating your children can actually eradicate hepatitis B from our lives altogether. Thank you for your patient listening.